Let me start out by saying that this video has been brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Fuck no. Just kidding. Yeah, they wouldn't even give Gigi the bag. I'm nobody. Why would they give it to me? Before you leave it in the comment section that it looks like I've been eating cherry pie filling, I have sensitive skin. I have sensitive skin. You animals. No, but I apologize for this.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize.
Logan Paul can eat my ass.
I'm not gay or anything. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Alright, anyways, first off, massive thank you to Clobber Ting Time. He did a shout out for me after my Chris Hansen interview, which you can check out here. And I've seen subscriber growth like I've never seen before. This is the most viewed video I have on my channel. So a massive shout out to Clobber Ting Time. Thank you so much for doing that. Shout out to Wes Most for being in frequent communication with me. Had it not been for Wes, there's some things I probably never would have even done on this channel, and maybe some content that I never would have made. So thank you to Wes Most as well. And shout out to fucking Baked Salmon for talking to me as well. Baked Salmon's pretty fucking awesome. Kind of jealous you got to interview Gigi though. Like, I don't know. And when it comes to interviewing Hansen and interviewing Mr. Gigi, kind of wish I would have interviewed Gigi. Gigi, you still look like a chubby Theo Rossi. Getting to interview Hansen was a pretty interesting thing, and that wants me to bring up the topic of this video. This video is going to focus on the questions that I didn't ask Hansen. And there's a good reason why I did that, and there were some questions that people had brought in my direction saying, why didn't you ask this? I wish you had done this. And I want to go ahead and address those things now by asking some of the questions that I did want to ask. In regards to why I didn't reach out to the TCAP community for questions that I could ask Hansen during the call, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this. It was very quick, it was very sudden, and a lot of the questions that I asked were off the top of my head and things that I felt that may be relative to the situation. In hindsight, I do wish that I had had more time to prepare for that call, but this is just the reality of the situation. As far as who is Gene to Chris Hansen, Wes Most already conducted an interview with Gene. Gene explained what his motivations are, why he's connected to this, and the reason why he's involved to begin with. BG Fox asks the question, why didn't you ask why Vincent lied about Sarah's laptop? That one's also kind of self-explanatory. Vincent was trying to promote himself. Vincent was trying to make himself seem like he was important to this investigation. Vincent was trying to make himself seem like he was a part of investigating instead of doing the one job that he still couldn't do, which was managing the websites, managing media, things of that nature. But that brings me to my own personal questions that I have to ask and concerns that I have in this situation. Now that Vincent is gone, what role does Mike Morris truly play in all of this? I understand that he's a lawyer and he can give some insight into the law, but I still have concerns about open investigations and cases that are currently being looked into against Mike Morris himself. For instance, if you just look at some of these headlines, there's a claim, my husband helped attorney Mike Morris hide MRI center money. Judge calls attorney Mike Morris a co-conspirator in alleged fraud scheme. Michigan Supreme Court takes sexual harassment case involving lawyer Mike Morris. And in a direct statement by a U.S. Magistrate Judge Anthony Patty, the statement reads as follows. U.S. Magistrate Judge Anthony Patty came to the conclusion that lawyer Mike Morris, famous for his firm's commercials on local television and large billboard ads, was the unnamed conspirator who was central to a fraud scheme alleged by State Farm Mutual Automobile Insurance. And then, of course, there's the call between Mike Morris and one of his alleged victims, where he admits his guilt to putting his hands on her in an unwanted way. And I'll play the audio for that now.
Do you remember what you did?
I remember like a 1 second pull you over. That's what I remember. And I'm not denying anything. I believe you. I'm telling you I don't know.
I want you to know that it made me feel really bad. It did, because I'm not, you know what I mean? I did.
I feel horrible about that. I don't
You made me feel like a piece, like a whore, like you just thought you could just do that to me.
And I'm really sorry about that. I don't even know what happened.
I was trying to take a picture, and we were standing there, and Mark goes, I'll take one of you guys, because I thought you were friends with Gary, you know, and I love pictures.
I saw that picture. It was a great picture.
Yeah, and I said,
listen, I thought we had a nice little connection. I liked you. I thought you were fun. I'm like, well, I would see this person again. We'd go out and party. That was honestly that my feeling.
Me too. That's why when you walked up to the table, I was like, you know what? I didn't exclude you. I said, let's take a picture. And then you go, let's go to, you go out of the night because my phone wouldn't focus. And we went in the back, and I was holding the picture up. And you were like behind me, and you grabbed my boob, and you go, is that better? And I was just like, I was stunned. It was just, I felt like, it just made me feel bad.
I don't even know how to say I'm sorry enough. And I really am. I still am. And I wish I could take that away from you. Obviously, you with anybody, nothing like that would ever happen again. That's just, it's changed me, it woke me up. And like I told you about my daughters, I wouldn't want anybody to.
That's what I mean. What if somebody did that to one of your girls? What would you feel like? Like I told Gary, I said, Gary, I'm not trying to hurt anybody or kid, but if that guy only knew how he made me feel that day.
I hear you. Nobody should feel like that. And believe me or don't believe me, but that's not me. And if it was, I would have been in trouble long ago, right? I'm 50, I'm divorced, I'm single, but I don't know. It's something about you, I guess, and I really had fun with you that night, and I don't.
And it's been my understanding that there's allegedly more cases directly related to this particular crime open against Mike Morris. I haven't been able to find anything like that. If you guys are able to find anything like that, please let me know. Show it to me on Twitter. Send it to me in my DMs. Drop it in the comments down below. So now I want to address why I didn't ask Chris about Mike Morris. Well, that's pretty simple. I feel like it would have shut the conversation down. I feel like Chris probably would not have answered any questions, considering that these are open cases against Mike Morris. And I feel like that would have gotten Chris to clam up and maybe not talk to me about the things that he did talk to me about. So let's move forward to another question that I would have liked to ask Chris. What happened to the Kickstarter money? Why is it that a lot of Kickstarter supporters, much of those people being from the TCAP community, never received their rewards? Why did that get funneled into True Crime Daily? Was there ever an explanation for any of this? I've tried to look for things, and maybe I've overlooked it. Maybe you TCAPers or anybody else that maybe not part of the TCAP community can provide those answers to me as well, because I still don't know what's going on with that. I would dig into Chris's credit card debt and potential money owed towards a Corvette, but everybody's got personal issues in their lives, and I don't really feel like those are too relevant to anything that I could have asked Chris. I can see where people are drawing those parallels, and they have the concerns about his involvement with this Onision case, and if he really cares about getting the alleged victims justice, or if this is just motivated by finances. Money is a funny thing. It makes people do a lot of things they probably wouldn't typically do. And when you're in a position that Chris Hansen is in, being a famous world-renowned journalist for almost, 40 years now, it could be easy to see when he has financial struggles that he might be motivated by the money. And that's all I can really say about that. At the end of the day, I don't know the answers to those questions, and I don't think Chris would have wanted to answer those questions to me. I want to be clear that this follow-up video is not about smearing Chris Hansen in any way, shape, or form. These are just legitimate questions that I have personally had and that I have vocalized on his Twitter. I'm still grateful to him for that opportunity of allowing me to ask him any questions. It's amazing to me that somebody as small as I am and as unimportant as I am was able to have this phone conversation with him. So thank you to him and the people involved that made that happen. I think Chris has done a lot of good in the past. I've been pretty vocal about that. I know there's some issues that occurred with the whole To Catch a Predator situation and how that came to an end. And I know that there were issues with the HVP situation and it getting funneled into True Crime Daily. I know that there were issues with Hansen making a comeback starting out on YouTube, and I know that some of those issues were directly related to Vincent Nicotra. I still wonder about motivation, but I will also wonder, should I just sit back and trust that everything is happening accordingly? And then I do want to ask things about the laptop. Why wasn't it sent to Chris directly from Sarah? Why wasn't Sarah instructed to turn it in to the FBI herself? Or if not the FBI, why wasn't Sarah instructed to turn it over to law enforcement? And another really big question I have. When you look at Chris and Sarah's interview together, who was it that was sitting in the room with Sarah? There was clearly someone there telling her what to say and what not to say. Did anyone else catch that? Or was it just me and one other person? Now, before anybody gets out pitchforks and tries to imply that I'm saying anything that I'm not saying, I still believe Sarah's statement. I still believe the things that the alleged victims have said. But there are more questions than there are answers at the end of the day when it comes to a lot of these things. If you feel like I've missed out on anything in this video or a question that I didn't ask that maybe I should have, leave it down in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Consider subscribing to the channel because it is free. It's free. I don't know why I acted like that, but it's free. Follow me on all my socials. Join my Discord if you choose to do so or don't. And I will see you in the next one.